Thank you very much for joining us here on this panel about technology in the aviation. I would like to start by maybe asking everyone to briefly introduce themselves and the company and the product, for our audience.
Mohammed, thank you so much for having us here. My name is Alek Vernitsky, and I'm the CEO of Portside. We support about 1,500 operators, about 1,300 or so in the US, and the rest are mostly in Europe and the Middle East, across a number of products, mostly scheduling and safety management.
Shumaila.
Hi, my name is Shumaila. I am a senior product manager working at US, and we basically specialize in working across the globe, working with dispatchers, operators, and of course ground handlers. And over the years, of course, we've been working with the clients, listening to their pain points and shaping the future of aviation with our technology and AI-driven solutions. So, thank you for having me.
Thank you, Mohammed. I'm Stefan Oberender, co-founder of Flex. We're a full-service sales, scheduling, operations software for business aviation customers, present globally from Australia, Europe, EMEA, all the way to the US.
Very much. So, talking about the friction points. So, where do you see the friction points are the most in the ramp, in the operationals, which technology obviously is trying to resolve? So, if we can start with you, Stefan.
I think friction points, and that's not specific to BizAv, it's usually fragmented systems. It's systems that don't talk to each other. It's copy and paste. It's human error that you introduce with having separate systems. That's why at Flex, I think we're integrated with 120 other third-party systems. You have one system of truth in the middle, and you synchronize the other systems. You avoid errors, you avoid costs, you avoid manual labor. And that's where the inefficiencies are in the industry. Ours as any other.
There is no one area that is more specifically a focus point from an operator point of view.
Wherever you have human interfaces, there is friction, right? So if flight planning is one tool, and in there is no friction, it works perfectly, but it needs to talk to scheduling. It needs to talk to other tools, to the permits, to the Gendex, to the GARs, to be efficient. And that's what we're all working on, I guess, together.
Shumaila?
I think I'll just second what Stefan said, but I'll add to it that alongside fragmentation, we've got legacy systems as well, because as aviation is evolving, technology is evolving, and a lot of companies are just catching up. So this is another added point, and I think as US working towards creating an ecosystem, I think that would also help a lot of our clients and dispatchers working with only one system. And of course, we're partnered up with a lot of these partners as well. So this will help having one kind of an ecosystem for our customers. That would help.
So it's about providing comprehensive solution that tackles all friction points, not a single one per se. Alek?
Sure, and completely agree with Stefan and Shumaila. I think in the US, the primary area of integration need is trip support and FBO integrations. That's probably the area of most friction, but for domestic operations, there are other areas like fuel. But like Stefan said, anytime you have manual intervention, there's a chance for error. It slows things down. So it's important for these systems to be integrated well.
Okay, talking about AI, in your opinion, where is AI is making the biggest contribution when it comes to technology or optimization?
I think we're all getting started on AI. We are all trying it. We're all building with it. We all learn a lot about it. Right now, AI is very good at... AI basically solved language processing, right? 2 years ago, computers couldn't understand human language. Now they are better than any of us here in processing or creating human language. That's why we use it right now. And going forward, it's going to be settled in more and more areas. I don't think it's going to be the generic AI that you have a black box and you say, schedule my flight, and this is everything automatic. There's good software with structured data, structured process needed. But if you have that, plugging AI as a layer on top of it can be super powerful.
What about you, Shumaila? What do you think about the ambition of having AI do that all magic for planning a flight?
I think what AI is helping us as of today is with automation and predictability. So I think we're already using AI internally within our teams, removing all the redundant manual work that they're doing. And apart from this, I think in terms of predictability, we're all trying and figuring out how we can help our customers create those trends, optimize their fleet, optimize their CO2 emissions, or the save cost basically. So I think AI is definitely helping. And in the future, I do see a lot of use cases using AI, but I think one step at a time. But definitely, AI is definitely going to change the game when it comes to aviation.
Alek, what's your thoughts on AI, and do you think it will ever replace human?
Probably not, not anytime soon. But we tested in many parts of the business. We've deployed it in customer support, and it's making us much more efficient. We are testing it in customer-facing products in quoting, for example, and a couple of other areas. And we'll see if the early tests are successful or not. And our engineers, of course, use it to develop code more quickly. So it's definitely reducing costs for us internally and improving quality of service that we can offer to the customers. But there's much more that could be done at just early innings for it.
Stefan, do you feel like as an industry, business aviation, we are behind in technology advancement compared to other industries? How satisfied are you with the technological advancements?
Yes, of course, we are behind because we are a highly regulated industry, and it's if you do a small gadget or a B2C app or game or whatever, you can try new things much faster. We still have to keep our operations, our operators safe, compliant, working. Most of them are running 24/7 businesses, so progress is a little slower, but we're getting there. I think there's many positive signs in the industry. Many people are shaping up. And even between partners, UAS, Flex, Portside, I think the three of us, we are integrated, and it's only going to get more. We're going to push and help our operators to leverage technology better going forward.
Shumaila, you've worked before the aviation in other industries. When you were researching about the industry uh, technological advancement tools that is out there, did you feel that there's a scarcity in this compared to other industries you worked with?
I do believe, of course, there's a little bit of a catching up that we need to do, which is for good. But like Stefan said, there is a lot of compliance and regulations, which is why we cannot move as fast as we can with other industries. And of course, there's no room for error. But I do believe, especially at US, I think, and integrations that we're doing, I think we're catching up, we're removing all the fragmentation that we have in the industry. We're getting all the data that we need and giving one unified customer experience because the customer doesn't really need to know. They just want to be notified and they just want a seamless experience. Um, but I think one step at a time, we're moving in the right direction within US, and of course, we've got our partners. So, yeah.
Thank you. Alek, it seems like the technology in the aviation is fragmented and it is different pieces with different stakeholders. So there's room for consolidation, for collaboration, for integration. Do you see that happening?
Yes, I mean, there's definitely room for collaboration and integration, and customers ask for it, and other participants in the ecosystem are asking for an integration. And collaboration is actually getting much better, I feel like, than it has been a few years ago. I feel it's easier to integrate more companies and more operators and vendors alike, I think, are open to it. And I'm making every effort to make the business more efficient, which is great.
Stefan, how do you involve your stakeholders in building the product or improving the product? Let's say clients, how do you manage the feedback with the clients and different stakeholders?
Well, you can only improve yourself or your product or your company through feedback. Life is a learning game. You can only learn through external feedback. I think just reading a book will not make you better. You always need the outside view. So what we do is we keep our customers close, not as customers, but as partners, and make sure that we build features for them, that everything we build increases the value that we deliver to them. And that includes, of course, integrations. Now people hardly anymore ask for new features, but they ask for more integrations. And that includes integrating with the competition. When we started 15 years ago, BizAv was a series of walled gardens. There was the Rockwell Collins. They wouldn't let you integrate to our ink because they had FOSS. I think that's a thing of the past. And we integrate competitors, we integrate partners, and everything we can do to provide value to our common customers is on our roadmap.
I agree. Shumaila, do you agree that now companies realizing that collaboration is the way to go? It's not like owning all the pieces for yourself.
Absolutely. I think everyone is realizing this and everyone is trying to work with each other in whatever capacity they can. And I think US is doing a similar thing. We have reached out to many other partners, be it the new features that we're launching, optimization, CO2, or any new rollouts in our new ecosystem that we're building. I think definitely integration and collaboration is the way to go with our customers or with our partners.
Yeah. Alek, how do you collect feedback from clients? Or how often do you have a process for that? Or
I mean, customers tell us all the time. I mean, email, chat, phone calls, conferences. So it's probably the primary way for us to improve our products is feedback from customers. And we work with we compete with Flex, for example, in some cases, and we collaborate in others, and it's fun. And we'll certainly have a beer later on today. So it's
that's the spirit that I really like, and it's genuine spirit here in the aviation industry. That collaboration. Gone are the days that people really getting hold of their technology like it's baby. Now every product seems to be an API first approach.
Absolutely,
In
yes.
consideration of more integration, so they're thinking of an API first approach development.
It has to be if aviation wants to move to a real-time mirror of the world. You have to. You cannot do it manually. There's so much compliance. There's so much friction. There's so many things you have to consider as an operator. Our job is really to make the life of the operator easier, and we can only do that when the information flows freely between those systems. You cannot do it otherwise.
What a final word you can give as an advice for companies to adopt more technology? What advice would you give them?
Explore and see what's out there. We have customers that do not know about some integrations we have just because they are happy with what they are. But there is always ways to do things better, faster, more efficient. See what's out there. Talk to us. Talk to everybody here, and we can guide you to that next step and see how much you can automate your operations.
Hello.
I think as a technology first company, I would emphasize on having technology. I think moving away from any manual work that people are still doing. I think we need to learn what's out there, whether it's AI. We should be able to test new technologies. We should be able to test new features. And I think work with our partners. And yeah, I think just a bit more open to technology in general.
Alek?
I talk to customers all the time, and I always say the same thing. If your teams are doing something manually, challenge your partners to see if they could help your team automate. And chances are a lot of the workflows that the teams are spending a lot of time and effort working on could be automated or could be improved with technology. And if you assume that it's possible, chances are it will come to pass.
I want to thank you at the end. Thank you very much for joining and for your insights. It's been very helpful, and we look forward to seeing more collaboration, hopefully, in the industry to bring the technology up to speed. Thank you very much.
Thanks for having us.
Likewise. Thank you.